I will start. So today's class, for those who didn't hear, will be a forward folding class, and we'll largely be working on stretching the areas at the back. So the calves, the hips and the hamstrings. We'll also be working at strengthening the front. So using the muscles, the quads, and maybe also using some of the core and abs to fold forward. The sensation tends to be to relieve tension and can be quite relaxing, but also because of the majority of the strengthening exercises we do, so running, cycling, work on the back muscles, so kicking behind or cycling behind, it will be a useful counterpoint to all of those sort of physical activities we do daily. So we'll start lying on our backs. We'll come into a very gentle pause to start the class. So lie down in what feels like Shavasana, what feels comfortable to you. Try to get your feet as wide apart as you can, arms to the side. Just release yourself flat on the mat. Allow yourself to come to gentle stillness as we start. From your position on the mat, allow yourself to feel an intense grounding. Use the opportunity to notice how you're feeling in your body. You notice with your breath, your energy levels, seeing whether you're breathing fast or slow, whether it's deep or shallow. Try to do nothing to change it this time, just observe. Now continue to notice your breath as you lie on your back. Observe your inhalations. Notice your belly rising as you breathe in. Notice the belly fall as you breathe out. Your next breath in, start to bend the knees. Allow the feet to come flat on the mat. Adjust your spine, then draw your knees up close towards your chest. Reach your hands for your shins. Give yourself a small squeeze, maybe allowing yourself to rock gently towards the left and the right. Do this a few times. And when you're ready, come to stillness, still reaching your hands, your arms around your shins. And with the next inhale, drop your left foot onto the mat. Keep the knee bent and slowly start to straighten up that right leg towards the ceiling. Reach your hands behind the leg, maybe behind the knees. Point and flex the right foot a few times. Spread the toes and take circles outwards. If you're taking those circles, take the circles the other way, releasing through the ankles, then come into stillness. Now you could either keep your left knee bent with the foot on the mat, or maybe you extend the left leg. Allow the left leg to be close to the mat if you do this. And maybe you also start to walk the hands up the right leg. Try not to strain too hard, just use gravity in the shoulders to draw the right foot towards the face. Continue to notice your breath. With the next breath in, bend that left knee if you straightened it, and rebend the right. Allow both knees to come together at the center. Give yourself another hug. Maybe you rock left and right as well before coming to stillness. This time, the right foot drops to the mat. Extend the left leg towards the ceiling. Reach your hands around the leg. Maybe walking it up the knee. Point and flex the foot, spreading the toes, taking the circles out one way and in the other. Now again, either stay in stillness, or you could release that right leg, extending it towards the mat, and walk the hands up the left foot towards the ankle. Again, take care not to strain or pull that foot a little more vigorously, but use the force of gravity, drawing your shoulders down, releasing the spine flat on the mat. Continue to allow the breath to stay soft. The next breath in, bend the left knee, bring the right knee up towards the chest. Give yourself another squeeze. Rock left and right. Now start to rock up and down the length of your spine, kicking your feet behind the head, reaching forwards, and see if you can build a bounce. Maybe you gather enough momentum to cross your legs to the shins, drop the hands to the mat, and step back into downward facing dog. So we come straight into downward facing dog. Press the palms flat on the mat and send your gaze back. So in this first downward facing dog, pedal your feet. Allow yourself a gentle release to the back of the legs, starting from the ankles to the calves and the hamstrings. Keep your tailbone lifted high. Continue to slide your hands away from you so your torso reaches back as you pedal. Take one more deep breath in here. Then come to stillness in downward facing dog. Rise high on your toes. Bend your knees, keeping your arms long and straight. Come to what almost feels like a child's pose. And on the breath out, straighten the legs and send the heels down towards the mat. We do this one more time. Rise high on the toes. Bend the knees towards the mat, keeping the arms straight. Keep looking back towards your knees or your thighs. And as you exhale, straighten the legs and reach back into downward facing dog. The next time you lift onto your toes, start to walk your feet. Take it as slow as you can, bending the knees as much as you need. We walk all the way to the top of the mat. Release the hands onto fingertips and have a soft bend to the knees. Allow your belly to rest on your thighs, the lower rib cage reaching down. And look down, we come into a forward fold, a ragdoll pose, either with the hands on the mat, or if you want to, grab hold of the opposite elbow, release the head and neck. We'll be here for slightly longer than normal, so we try to bend the knees as much as we need to make this feel as comfortable as we can allow it. Use your breath in to reach the head further towards the mat. And the breath out, send your weight towards the toes. So you're working on straightening the legs a little more. Take one more deep breath in your fold. Slowly release the hands towards the mat and start to rise up. You keep a rounding in your spine. Try to lay one vertebrae over the other, allowing the head to be the last thing to come up. And when you come up to standing, reach your shoulders forwards, up towards the ears, back and down. So we're taking circles to open the shoulder blades. Reach your shoulders forwards, up, back and down. Release the palms so they face the front of the room. You're in your mountain pose. So take a look at your feet. Allow the toes to be close together. Maybe they touch. The outside blades are parallel with the edges of your mat. And you're sending awareness from your feet, all four corners, grounding. You lift through your calves, your kneecaps lift. Your thighs are engaged. You get the sensation of an outward rotation. So you're reaching the inside towards the front of the room. Your hips stay over your heels. Your navel reach for your spine and up towards the heart. Take a deep breath in and bring your hands to heart center. Close the eyes. Now allow yourself a moment in which you set an intention for your practice. Suggest you make this the inspiration for your practice today, whatever has brought you onto the mat. Perhaps it's a mind-body connection you get from yoga, or the sense of balance, or maybe just a moment of calm or movement with the body. Allow yourself to bring your attention to this throughout the calm moments of a practice. Take a deep breath in, feel your chest rise. Breathe out. Take another deep breath in, feel your side ribs expand. Take another breath out. With the next breath in, lift the hands up to the sky and blink the eyes open. As you exhale, fold with soft knees, reaching the hands towards the mat. Inhale, wave the spine to lengthen into halfway lift. So your hands either on your knees or towards the mat. Look forwards. Exhale, release once more with soft knees, come into your forward fold. Inhale, we wave the spine once more, halfway lift, look forwards. Exhale to release the spine, softening the knees. One final time, inhale, lengthen the spine, lift. Exhale, bend your knees deeply and plant the hands either side of the feet. Step your right foot a long step back. Drop your right knee to the mat and untuck the toes. So from here, take a deep breath, sink your hips. And on the breath out, we start to straighten out that left leg a little. So we walk the hands towards the hips as comfortably as we can to lift the chest, lengthening. Exhale, we fold, bending the elbows a little more. Take a breath in, lift the chest, straighten out the arms. Exhale to fold. We take one more deep breath in to lengthen the spine. Then we bend back into the left knee and plant the hands around the foot. Tuck the back toes and step into plank pose. So your shoulders, elbows, and hands are forming a straight line. Your hips in one line with the head and heels. Take a deep breath in. On the breath out, drop to your knees, untuck the toes. Start to bend the elbows. Release it. Your chin comes down to the mat, and we slide forward. Lift the shoulders and head. Come into cobra pose. Elbows bent and shoulders away from the ears. Push the mat away. Tuck the toes. Lift from tabletop back into downward facing dog. So feel free to continue to pedal. Maybe you need more of a release here. Hands still pressing the mat with your index finger pointing directly ahead. Send your chest back, lift your tailbone high. Deep breath in. Breath out, come to stillness. With the next breath in, rise high on your toes, bend your knees and look forward. Step your right foot in front between the hands and drop to your left knee, untucking the toes. Inhale, sink your hips, look forward. As you exhale, we now work on straightening that front right leg. Maybe you keep your hands where they are, or you walk your hands towards the knee, towards the hips. Deep breath in, lengthen the spine. Breath out, fold, bending the elbows. Another deep breath in, lift the spine, keep the length in your chest. Exhale to hinge at your hips, fold towards that right knee more. One more deep breath, lift the spine. On the breath out, we bend that right knee and plant the hands, this time stepping the left foot in front. Lift into halfway lift. Exhale to fold with soft knees. And with the next breath in, lift hands to the sky. Release the hands through prayer and into mountain pose once more. We take one more round of exactly those same salutations. Inhale, hands come up to the sky. Exhale, fold in half. Lengthen the spine, look forward, halfway lift. Then plant the hands, this time stepping back with your left foot, dropping your left knee to the mat. Untucking the toes, start to straighten your right leg, walk the hands back or keep them where they are. Lift the spine, inhale. Exhale to fold down. Inhale, lengthen the spine, reach your head forward. Exhale to fold once more. You take one more inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend your front knee, hands on the mat, step back into plank pose. Shoulders over elbows and wrists. And you can keep your knees on the mat. You can drop your knees to the mat as we did last time. Or maybe you keep yourself lifted in your plank pose, working through your shoulders so the area between your shoulder blades reach towards the ceiling. Take one more deep breath in plank pose. Then reach forwards wherever you are. Bend the elbows exactly halfway, chaturanga. Untuck the toes, either knees to the mat, cobra, or keep your knees off, come into upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift back into downward facing dog. Where we have a couple more breaths. Give yourself the opportunity of movement, of stillness. Choose. Take a deep breath in, rise high on the toes, bend your knees and look towards the top of the mat. Left foot steps between the hands, right knee drops to the mat and tuck the toes. Lift the chest, straighten your left leg, reach the hands back. Use your breath in to lift the spine, your breath out to fold. Inhale, lift the spine, straighten the arms a little more. Exhale, maybe bend the elbows, reach your chin down. One final breath in, lift. Exhale, bend the left knee, step your right foot in front. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Next breath, rise up, hands to the sky. And release the hands into prayer, into your mountain pose. Take a breath in, lift the hands up to the sky. And keeping your knees soft, send your arms alongside the ears, fold with your torso parallel to the mat. So you use soft knees to ease the back. Maybe you work at straightening. Now, if this feels hard for any reason, maybe you reach your hands into prayer. Continue to keep your spine parallel with the mat, working through the back of those legs and reaching the arms or head parallel with the mat. One deep breath in. As you exhale, release the hands back towards the mat, soften the knees a little more. Lengthen the spine, halfway lift as you look forwards. Then plant the hands, either step or float, jumping straight back from plank or or knees down plank through chaturanga. Slide forward, cobra up dog, and meet in downward facing dog. Excellent, guys. So in downward facing dog, bring your attention to your hands. Try to press your palms flat on the mat. So you're squeezing your palms all the way down. You're firmly rooted. Now, starting that awareness from the palms, lift through your wrists all the way to your elbows and your shoulders. Get this action of an outward rotation. It almost feels like your armpits are about to face one another. So work starting with the hands through to the elbows and shoulders. Now with the head, start to look towards your feet, maybe lifting towards the knees. Try to think of downward facing dog as an upside down V. So you're sending your head to look between the legs. Deep breath in, full breath out. With the next inhale, lift your right heel up to the sky. Continue to keep your palms pressing against the mat. Deep breath in, full breath out. Take one more deep breath in here. As you exhale, step that right foot between the hands as close to the top of the mat as you can manage. So with the back foot, drop the heel to the mat. So your entire left foot is flat. The toes point diagonal. It feels like it's pointing at 10 o'clock. Lift from your hands to fingertips and bring strength to that front knee. Lift the arms up to the sky. Warrior one. So in Warrior One, that front knee stays bent over the ankle. The back leg is nice and strong. So you have enough space between the legs. So your hips are parallel with the mat. They're level. Your shoulders are stacking directly over your hips and your hands reach directly ahead of those. Deep breath in here. As you exhale, send the right hand forward, left hand back. Come into Warrior Two. So you're reaching ahead with the right hand. Keep your shoulders over your hips. Your front knee stays bent and your gaze is straight ahead towards the front middle finger. With the next inhale, reach your hand forward, flip, and reverse the warrior, reaching right hand up towards the sky, keeping the bend to the knee so we're coming into a side stretch. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, side angle pose. Right elbow comes towards the mat. And use this opportunity to track the right knee. Try to keep it sending towards the right side. The left hand goes up and your gaze moves softly to the left, or maybe the hand in the sky. Deep breath in, breath out. One more inhale, lift the hands up to the sky, reverse one more time, right hand to the sky. Exhale, send the hands to the mat, frame that right foot, lift your left heel, and step back, come through your vinyasa, bending the elbows to lower down, sliding forward into cobra or up dog, and pushing the mat away, back into downward facing dog. Take an extra breath in and a breath out. Now start with the left foot, left heel reaches to the sky, point the toes towards the ceiling. Continue to press the mat away, lifting shoulders away from the ears. Deep breath in, breath out. Take another breath in here, then look forward. Step your left foot between the hands as close to the top of the mat as you can. Drop your right foot to the mat, so both feet are firmly rooted, keeping the bend to the knee. Strengthen that front leg. Rise into warrior one. So the front knee is bent, your shoulders stacking over your hips. Try not to lean too far forward or back. So you're allowing yourself, your weights to be split equally or evenly between both feet. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, open out into warrior two once more. Left hand forward, right hand back. Keep the bend to that left knee. Continue to look straight ahead. Try to touch both front and back of the room at the same time. Take an inhale, reach your left hand forward. And as you exhale, reverse the warrior. Reach your left hand up to the sky. Use the bend to the knee to support yourself into a deeper stretch. Deep breath in. On the breath out, we come into side angle pose. So send your left elbow inside of the knee. Reach your right hand up to the sky. So allow the left knee to be tracking out rather than towards the center of the mat. Lean back so you're stacking the shoulders, trying to form a straight line between that bottom left hand and the lifted right one. With the next inhale, strengthen the legs, reverse the warrior once more, left hand to the sky. Exhale to frame the front foot, step back, come through vinyasa. You come into downward facing dog. Have 3 breaths here. Maybe you come into child's pose. Well done. If you're in child's pose, start to make your way back into downward facing dog so we take the other flow. From downward facing dog, breathe in and lift your right heel to the sky. Look forward and step your right foot between the hands. Drop the back heel for both feet firmly rooted. Lift into warrior one once more. Hands go up to the sky with a breath in. Hips sink, knees bent a little lower with a breath out. Inhale, engage through the arms. Again, think of the armpits almost facing one another. Exhale, sink a little more. One final inhale in your warrior one. Come into warrior two, opening the hips, sending right hand forward, left hand back. Try to look straight ahead towards that right hand. Deep breath in, full breath out. And with your next inhale, reach forward, flip and reverse the warrior. Keep your right knee bent to start with, reaching right hand up to the sky. Maybe you're looking towards it or just comfortably to the left side. Take a deep breath in and a breath out. With the next inhale, start to straighten the front leg. Lift the right hand high to the sky, so both legs nice and strong. Exhale, send both hands parallel. Reach forwards and drop the back of that right hand inside the shin, triangle pose. The left hand goes up, your shoulders are stacking, and you're leaning back against an imaginary wall behind you. So you try and keep a soft, the tiniest soft bend to that, so you're protecting it and working on the muscles rather than just the joints. Continue to reach the left hand up to the sky and keep your legs strong. One more deep breath in and an out breath. Now with your next inhale, strengthen the legs. Allow both legs to stay straight. Reach your hands parallel with the mat. So look at your feet and shuffle them so you're pigeon-toed slightly. Your toes are closer in, your heels further out. Hands now come onto your hips. Take a breath in, strengthen from the legs through your hips. You lift and puff the chest up. Exhale, start to hinge just at the hip. Keep your chest lifted. Fold either directly parallel with the mat, keeping your hands where they are, or you could drop your hands to the mat. Continue to use each breath in to lengthen the spine and the breath out to just hinge at the hips. Maybe you're reaching closer to the mat. Inhale, send the head away from the hips. Exhale, fold a little more. One final inhale and exhale. With the next breath, strengthen your legs, hands come back to hips, reach your head forwards and start to rise back up. So pivot your front foot, the right toes point straight ahead, bend the knees, reach the hands forwards, warrior two, and on the exhale, circle the left hand, meets the front, step back, go through your vinyasa. Or go straight into downward facing dog. We meet there before taking the left side. From downward facing dog, take a breath in to lift your left heel up to the sky. Look forward, step your left foot between the hands, drop your right heel, settle onto the mat before lifting into warrior one once more. Reach the hands up to the sky. Try to get the pinky fingers closer in so you're engaging all the way from your shoulders through your elbows to your hands. Exhale, bend that front left knee a little more. Take a deep breath in, lift even higher with the hand. Exhale, keep that front knee bent. Take one final inhale here. Exhale, warrior two, palms facing the mat. Keep the bend to that front knee. Deep breath in, reach forwards and backwards. Breath out, sink the hips. Now reach the left hand forward, flip the hand, reverse the warrior. The legs stay exactly as they are. Come into this deep left side stretch. Rest your right hand on the back of the leg. Reach your left hand to the sky. With the next breath in, start to straighten your left leg. Both legs nice and strong. Exhale, prepare to come into Trikonasana, your triangle pose. Left hand goes forward. Then you drop the hand inside of the left shin. Lift your right hand up. Again, start to think of bending that front knee slightly. So you're working on the quads. You're reaching your right hand up, but also sending the shoulders back. So it's almost directly over the left shoulder. Another deep breath in and a breath out. With the next inhale, allow the hands to come parallel with the mat. Once more, pigeon toe the feet. This time, reach your hands behind you, interlace the fingers, form a clasp of your hands, and keeping your legs strong, start to puff out the chest. Inhale. Exhale, fold your torso down towards the mat. So use the action of your hands to keep the chest open. Exhaling, fold a little more. Your head reach towards the mat. Try to reach your hands. fold. Slowly onto your start to lift the spine, come back up to standing. So you send the left toes back to the front, bend into the knee, extend the arms, warrior two. Deep breath in. On the breath out, circle the hands, frame the left foot and step back. Bend, lower. We meet in downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Either choose to stay in downward facing dog or come into child's pose for rest. Start to remind yourself of your intention, the reason for your practice, as you allow your breath to be soft and the body to be calm. One final breath wherever you are. Lift back up to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right heel up to the sky. Step the right foot forward between the hands. Drop the back heel. Warrior one once more. Deep inhale here. Exhale, warrior two. We've been here already. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Keep that front knee bent. Inhale, reach the right hand forward. Flip, reverse the warrior. Right hand goes up to the sky. Keep the knee bent for a moment. Deep breath in. Breath out. With the next breath in, straighten the front leg. Exhale, start to reach forward. We come into triangle pose, Trikonasana once more. Right hand towards the mat, soft bend to the front knee. Left hand up to the sky. Deep breath in. Breath out. Another deep breath in. Lift that left hand as high as you can. Breath out. Now send your gaze towards the mat. Start to bend into that right knee. Maybe you grab a block or you place your hand on the mat. Walk the hands forwards and lunge, straightening that front leg as you lift the left foot off the mat. Come into your side angle pose. So you use the supporting right hand and the right foot to ground, and then you push back with the left foot. The toes points towards the left, and your left hand stays high. From here, you maybe travel your gaze from the mat towards the left. Maybe work on the balance a little more and lift up to the sky. Deep breath in your half moon pose. On the breath out, look towards the mat. Drop your left hand back. Or we'll take a few spinal waves in our half splits. Lengthen the spine, reach your head forwards. Exhale, fold your chin towards the right knee. Keep your left heel lifted. Inhale. Exhale to fold. You take one more breath in, lengthen the spine. With your next breath out, drop your left foot to the mat. This time closer to the right. So both feet are flat. Your feet are like train tracks. So one on the right side, the right foot on the right side and the left on the left. Hands either staying on the mat or you could lift your hands onto hips. Engage through the spine, come into your pyramid pose. So lift the head away from the hips, breathe in. Fold your chin at your hips, breathe out. Use your inhalations to remind yourself, lengthening the spine. Exhale to hinge the hips and fold a little further down. One more deep breath in, lengthening. On the exhale, place the hands on the mat if they're not there already. Bend into your front knee and step your left foot back. Hands on the mat, step your right foot back, go through Vinyasa or straight into downward facing dog. Come through cobra, up dog. Meet in downward facing dog. Take an extra breath in before taking the same thing on the left side. Inhale, left heel rises. Step it forward between the hands. Exhale, drop your back heel, warrior one. Lift the hands. Sink the hips a little more. Deep breath in, extend the hands. Warrior two. Left hand goes forward, right hand stays back. Deep breath in. Breath out, reach the hands away from you. Left hand goes forward, reverse the warrior, keeping the bend to the knee to start with. The left hand goes up, the right hand rests on the back of the leg. Deep breath in, start to straighten the front leg. On the breath out, prepare to come into triangle. Left hand goes in front and rests inside the left shin. Right hand goes up. Use your breath to extend the hands away from one another. The breath out sends the right shoulder back. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Now send your gaze back towards the mat on the left foot. Bend deep into the left knee and send the hands forward. Hands either on the mat or fingertips. Straighten that front left leg, lift your right heel, come into half moon pose once more. So we stack the hips, the right hip over the left. Try to straighten that left leg and extend the hands away from each other. The right foot is pointing to the right side. Your gaze either staying down or you're working on challenging your balance. Sending the gaze to the right, maybe up to the sky. Deep breath in. Send your gaze back down to the mat. Right hand down, standing split. Lengthen the spine away from you. Strengthen your left leg. Fold with soft knees back. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Keep your right heel and foot off the mat. Exhale to fold. One final inhale. Lengthen and lift. Exhale, drop your right foot, this time closer. We're coming to pyramid, this time on the left. Hands either stay on the mat or onto your hips. Straighten both legs as much as you can. Lift the head. Exhale, straight spine, fold towards the knee. Inhale, wave once more, reach the head away from the hips. Exhale to fold. One final inhale. Lift. Then drop the hands to the mat, bend deep into the left knee, step back with the right, step your left, and come through Vinyasa or skip it. We all meet in downward facing dog. Arriving in downward facing dog, take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, seal the lips and flubber. Deep breath in, do it one more time. Horse breath. Allow your breath to soften, become more relaxed and calm. Inhale, lift your right heel up to the sky now. Step it forward between the hands, drop the back heel, rise into warrior one. Deep inhale. Full exhale, stay in warrior one. With your next breath in, straighten your front leg so you have two straight legs. Your hands continue to extend above the head, spreading through fingers. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, start to fold, hinging just to the hips. Again, your arms can stay alongside the ears, or maybe you reach your hands into prayer at heart center. Just as we did in that standing fold, lengthen your head away from the hips. Maybe you shuffle the back foot a little closer. Your hips are parallel with the mat. Your torso is parallel with the mat. Inhale. Exhale to stay. One more breath in here. As you exhale, start to bend your front knee, rebend that right knee, and lift the left foot off the mat. Come into warrior three. So your hands are either in prayer or your arms stay extended alongside the ears. Maybe you take a different variation with the arms alongside the body or to the side. Use your breath to reach your head and feet away from one another. Your breath out to firm through that front right quad. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Your next breath in, start to bend into the right knee. Bring your left knee, come through standing. Maybe you drop the foot to the mat first. Then bend that front knee. The left knee is bent. You're clasping the knee with the left hand and you're starting to strengthen or continue to strengthen that right quad. Either stay here, or you could reach your hands for the big toe of the left foot. So your left hand is clasping the toe. Again, maybe you stay here, or you start to work on extending that left leg in front. Keep your solid rooting on your right foot. Start to reach higher with the foot, sending the left shoulders back. One more deep breath in your extended Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, extended toe to foot, quite a mouthful to say. Then rebend the foot, place the foot on the thigh, come into your tree pose, either keeping it on the thigh, the inside of the shin, or you could drop the heel to the right ankle. So you keep your solid grounding on the right foot. Your hands come into prayer. You continue to grow the chest and the crown up to the sky. Use your breath. Maybe you transition the hands up towards the sky. Express your tree pose, continuing to breathe in and out of your nose. Take one final breath in tree. Release your hands through prayer. Release the foot to the mat and wiggle your feet, bending one knee and then the next. And when you come to stillness, make your feet as wide as the mat. The toes point diagonally out, almost 45 degrees. Hands to heart center. Start to sink the hips. Come into Malasana, your yogi squat. So maybe your heels don't touch the mat. You can place blocks, or if it feels comfortable, you can keep your heels floating. Hands on the mat. Reach your feet on the mat. Reach your elbows inside of the knees and use the elbows to reach your hands closer to the heart. Head grows high to the sky, inhale. Tailbone reaches closer to the mat, exhale. One more breath in. Exhale, release the knees, extend the hands, and drop to your bum. Release the hands. We're going to come into boat pose. Hands under the knee, lean back, lift your feet off the mat. You can either stay with your legs parallel along with your hands supporting the knees, or you extend the arms alongside. Continue to lift the chest. Maybe you straighten through the legs. Deep breath in. Another option, you could lift your arms. One more deep breath in. Exhale, cross your shins, hands back on the mat, step back into downward facing dog. Now bend your knees, pedal your feet. Continue to send your chest back and tailbone high. Deep inhale. Exhale, settle down into your downward facing dog. Left heel rises to the sky. Step your left foot between the hands. Prepare and come into warrior one. Front knee bent, shoulders over hips, weight evenly across your feet. Take a breath in, straighten your front leg now, both legs nice and strong. As you exhale, send the arms and torso parallel with the mat. Again, working on your arm variation, maybe your arms continue to extend forward, or you can bring it into prayer at the heart center. Use your breath in to send the head away from the hips. Again, thinking maybe you need to shorten your stance, walking the right foot closer forward. Take another deep breath in. And with the breath out, bend into that front knee and reach into warrior three, lifting that right heel off the mat towards the sky, keeping the hands in the variation, either in prayer or arms extended into Superman or alongside the body. So you use your standing left leg to reach your hips high, your hips stay level, and you're kicking your right heel behind you, toes pointing down, as if you're pushing against the wall. Deep breath in, starts to bend the left knee on the breath out. Bring your right knee up with you again. Maybe you stop before lifting it, bent at the center towards the chest. Right hand goes around the knee, option one. Maybe you reach your hands for the big toes, option two. Continue to firm through that standing left quad. Option 3, maybe you extend that right foot away from you and then starts to reach the right shoulder back. So you're standing straight with the head, the crown lifting high to the sky. One more breath in. Then you start to bend the knee if you've straightened it out. Come into your tree pose. Maybe reaching it for the thigh, the inside of the shin, or dropping lower down. Hands come into prayer and express your tree whichever way you did the previous time. Maybe the hands come up to the sky together or separate. Ground firmly into the left foot. Set your gaze ahead. Keep your breath calm and deep. With the next breath in, return your hands to prayer, drop the right foot on the mat, and give yourself another wiggle, lifting one heel and then the next. Then we extend the feet as wide as the mat once more, toes pointing out, hands in front, sink back into your yogi squat, Malasana. Drop your hips down and send your elbows inside of the knee. Once more, use the action of your elbows on the knee to push them apart and send the prayer hand to your heart center. Inhale, lift the chest. Use your exhalation to allow the tailbone to be closer to the mat. So you're extending through the spine, trying to make your spine as long as you can. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, release the elbows, drop to your bum once more, and we come back into boat pose. So options with your hands under your knees, legs in front. Maybe you extend, releasing the arms. Or maybe you take a different version this time, reaching your hands for your shins, keeping your legs straight, and you fold your chest, keeping it lifted towards the thighs. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly cross your shins, release back into downward facing dog. Drop to your knees, come to child's pose. Give yourself 3 breaths here. Allow yourself calm back down. Coming to the finishing flow where there'll be a little more relaxation. Some forward folds, but largely counteracting. Now slowly peel yourself back up. Lift into downward facing dog. Lift your right heel up to the sky with your breath in. Step your right foot forward. Press your right foot on the mat, strengthen the leg, and reach your left heel. Come back into standing split. Reach the left heel high to the sky, lengthen the spine. Exhale, drop your left foot on the mat and roll over so the entire left foot is flat. Start to bend into the left knee. Walk the hands back, maybe around the knees, maybe around the hips. So drop your left knee on the mat, extend the right foot, toes pointing towards you. So you're flexing through the right foot. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, start to hinge at the hips to fold forwards. Inhale, wave the spine, send the head away from the hips. Exhale to fold, Mahamudra. Take one more breath in. Exhale to fold. With the next breath, start to lift back. And we take a few more toe stretches. We've done this before. I think we did this 2 weeks ago. Maybe you lift your right foot off the mat. Lift one hand, lift the other, staying in the balance. Maybe you keep one hand down. Or if you want to work a little harder, maybe you lift the left knee, keeping the right foot lifted. Work again on the balance. Deep breath in. Breath out, return the knee and foot to the mat. Start to bend the right knee once more. Hands around the foot. Lift the left knee off the mat. We're going to take one single piston squat. It can be difficult, I know, but try your best. Step your left foot through and extend it in front. Or find your way, whichever way you can, to reach your left foot in front and then release the right foot. You come to cradle it, using the left hand on the foot, the right hand on the knee. Allow your knee to bend forwards and backwards and take circles around the hip. So you're reaching it down, around. Either stay with just this movement, or maybe you want to bring the shin a little closer, cradling it like a baby, rocking forwards and backwards. And again, you can stay wherever you are. Or, might want to try this, drop your right hand on the mat towards the right side. So the right thigh or the right knee is now over the shoulders. You keep hold of the right foot with the left hand and start to slowly straighten the leg, peeking under the left armpit, rebending. So you're working on a slightly deeper hamstring stretch, peeking under. Maybe you change the direction, so you're holding the right foot with the hand from the top, and you're now able to peek under and keep the leg straight, compass pose. Stay with whatever you want, making sure you're only doing what feels comfortable with you right now. And then when you're ready, we release the foot on the mat inside of the left thigh. Flex the left toes. Lift the hands, straighten the spine, inhale. As you exhale, hinge your hips, start to send the hands towards the left foot. Get to the point where you can't do anything but round and stop there. Drop the hands to the mat. Inhale to lift the head away from the spine. Exhale, lower, just hinging at the hips. Keep another breath in, lengthen. Exhale to fold once more. With the next breath in, start to return your hands towards the hip. Allow the spine to lengthen once more. We're going to take another, back bend this time. Right foot still stays on the inside of the thigh. Send your right hand behind you, plant it on the mat, fingers pointing away from you. Left hand starting from the left side. Take a circle around and use this to thrust your hips forwards. Extend your left foot to the mat and reach your left hand behind you. Come into baby wild thing. And open your chest towards the ceiling, deep breath in. On the breath out, circle that left hand back around from the right side. Drop your hips back to the left. Release the hands. Now lift the right knee. Place the right foot outside of the left knee. Keep the left foot flexed. Inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, reach the elbow for the knee. Right hand goes back. Start to twist around the right. Use your breath in to lengthen the spine, head away from the hips. Your breath out to twist a little more deeply. Inhale, keep your spine lengthened. Exhale, twist a little more. One final breath. Down through the center. Come into a counter twist. Fold towards the left. The foot. Bend into the left knee. Cross your shins. Come in downward facing dog. Left heel rises up to the sky. Step your left foot between the hands. Firm through the left foot, standing split. Pick your right heel off the mat. Lengthen the spine, reach the head away from you. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold. One final time, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, drop the right foot over the foot. Start to bend into the right knee as you walk the hands back. So we're coming to these Mahamudra waves. So your right knee supported on the mat, your left foot is flexed, hands on the mat. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, wave the spine, lift the head. Exhale, reach your chin down. One final time, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, stay, start to walk the hands, maybe closer to the hips. The left heel lifts, maybe one hand or two, or you reach back so both knees are off the mat. Maybe one or two hands working on that toe stretch and balance. Take one more breath wherever you are. Exhale, drop the knee back to the mat. Start to rebend the left knee, hands around it. Lift your right knee, and we're going to step through back. So your right foot reaches to the front, or you find your way, whichever way you can. So the right leg is extended in front. The left foot is reaching inside. We take those few movements with the hips, trying to do something slightly different from the folds we've been doing so far. So rock, left, right, take circles around the hips, and also rebend the knee. You cradle it in close. Or if you want to work on compass pose, reach to hitch the left leg, the left thigh and knee over the left shoulder. Left hand on the mat. Straighten, rebend, working on the hamstrings. Or maybe you switch the position of the hand. So the right hand is reaching the foot from the top. Start to peek to look under the right armpit. Have a play around wherever you are. Well done, guys. And slowly start to release the foot. Come back to place the left foot inside of the right thigh. So contract the right quads. So you're firming the foot and reaching the toes towards you. Hands come up to the sky, breath in. Exhale, hinge just to the hips. Keep the length in the spine. Drop your hands to the mat wherever you fold. And keep your spine lifted as you fold forward towards the right foot. Use from the spine in one straight line away from the hips, the head away from the hips. And your exhalation to hinge your hips a little closer. Fold a little more towards the knee. Deep breath in. Breath out. And with your next inhale, start to walk the hands back towards the hips. Lift the spine. Lift the left foot and reach it for the out. Squeeze the chest up. Send the left hand back. Twist around. Look behind you. Yeah. Deep breath in. Full breath out. One more inhale. As you exhale, come into a counter twist. Look over to the right. And I missed that wild thing. Reach your left foot back inside. And we take the baby wild thing once more. Left hand around, planted on the mat, fingers away from you. Start with your right hand from the right side. Take a circle, thrust your hips, open your chest, making a big circle with the right hand. Keep your chest open, take one breath in, spread through your fingers. As you exhale, circle the right hand back, drop your hips, return. Rebend the knee. Now both knees are bent, feet on the mat. Try to rest your chest on your thighs, maybe the head reach for the knees as well. You want, reach your arms around your shin, give yourself a hug, lie forward. And slowly release your hands, extending them in front. Round your back as much as you can. Start to reach back, keeping this rounded spine. Send your shoulders behind you. Engage through your core. Control the movements. and lie on your back. Bend your knees in close, give yourself another hug. Rock gently left and right. Now come into happy baby pose, reaching your hands for your feet, the outside blades. Squeeze the knees towards the armpit. Keep your tailbone flat on the mat. Continue to rock left and right. Maybe you extend one leg fully before rebending and switching sides. Allow yourself to release into the back, into the legs. Now slow the movements down. Come to stillness. Before drawing, allow them to touch like prayer hands with the feet. Let go of the feet. Keep them together as you drop to the mat. Come into Supta Baddha Konasana. So your knees are apart, your feet still connected to the center. Lie in this reclining butterfly pose. Rest. One hand on the belly, the other on the heart. Slow body. Let any deliberate breathing. Allow yourself to ground fully. From here, extend the legs once more. Come back into Shavasana. Have your feet as wide as the mat. Arms alongside the body with the palms facing the ceiling. Allow yourself to fully relax onto the mat. Trying to observe this state of calm you've created. Knowing that even if only for now, there is nothing else to do. Now slowly start to bring movement back into the body. Start to wiggle your toes, your hands, your fingers. Extend the movement up through the body. Allow the head to roll gently to the left and the right. Reach the arms above the head. Stretch, allowing the legs to come together. Then bending the knee one at a time. Squeeze the knees towards the chest. Wrap your arms around them. Give yourself a squeeze. One final hug. Rock left and right. Then come to lie on any one side. Stay lying on your side. Pose from a moment. Now use the top hand to guide yourself to seated position on your mat. Get comfortable. Bring your hands to heart center. Close the eyes and take a moment in gratitude. Firstly to yourself for making space and time to practice, to honor the intentions you set. Extend the gratitude to everybody else you've practiced and shared this space with. I'd like to thank you for trusting me to guide the practice today. Lift the prayer hands up towards third eye space and bow forward. Namaste. Thank you. Well done, everyone. Feel free to unmute yourself if you have any comments. or feedback, that would be amazing. Otherwise, you can always send me a private message by text or phone call or on Instagram. Yeah, I think you all have details.